Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Chill Podcast. So, I have my co host Demi with me, and we decided to do a little bit of a fun episode where we can kind of get to know each other and you can kind of get to know us. And yeah, so Demi suggested that we do like a little Q&A. So, I have a few questions to ask her, and then she has questions to ask me. So, I'm super excited for this episode because I feel like we can kind of get to know each other. And yeah, I have some really fun questions for you. So, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm also really excited. It's always nice to get to know someone a little bit on a deeper level. So yeah, I'm excited to get to know you better today. It's like a speed dating round.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Yeah, okay. So the way I laid it out is the first few questions are a little bit more like deep/long form, and then the last 5 is like just quick, like a quick round, I guess. So my first question is, what is a quote or motto that you live by?
I love these because I love motivational quotes, but I think something that it's not necessarily like a quote, but it's just a phrase that I like to constantly remind myself of. It's kind of something that my dad instilled in me, which is like never give up. So like even through hardships in life, and when things feel like you maybe can't get back up again, I feel like just reminding yourself to not give up because you don't know what the other side could bring. And yeah, that's something that's kind of like stuck by me for a very long time, and it like kind of helps me through any difficult period in my life, like just reassuring myself that I am strong enough to get through something, and yeah, I have what it takes.
That's a good one.
Okay, so my question for you is, what's something that always brings a smile to your face no matter how bad your day has been?
So something that makes me smile on a bad day, probably like anything to do with animals. I'm a big animal person, so like I like seeing my pets maybe still like living at my parents'. Like I know if I'm feeling down, like the silly little things that they do. So like animals is a big thing for me. And like even like little videos on TikTok, like the compilations and stuff. I don't know what it is, but without fail, it always makes me feel really good. So yeah, that's probably something. And like the stray cat that like visits me sometimes, like that will also like sometimes I'll have a bad day and it's like he knows, and then like we'll come walk past and will literally just make me happy seeing him walk past. And that's so definitely like animals. Yeah,
I love that. I also love cute things like little cute little animals or puppies and
like baby ducks. Oh my word, baby ducks get me every time. Yeah.
Literally. Okay,
my turn, eh? So, what is a cause that you're passionate about?
Okay. So, there's two. So, obviously, recently learning a lot about like child trafficking and anything that has to do with like child's rights. I feel very passionate about that because I do have like, a younger sibling. And I feel very strongly, obviously, about children's rights and just ensuring that they're safe and taken care of and not exploited. Another one that I've always been passionate about my whole life is like environmental causes. So when I had my clothing brand, it was all sustainable, like it was all made in Cape Town, so nothing had to be like imported. So yeah, anything that has to do with like sustainable fashion, making sure like I don't litter at all, like 100%. Like
littering is a criminal offense.
Literally, no, but I'm being like dead serious. Like I think like growing up, already, because basically like a backstory is when we were like kids, my dad would always take us like camping and we'd go hiking. So I always had like an appreciation for nature because it was like a happy place. It always made me feel very like centered and like happy. So I always wanted to kind of take care of that and preserve that. So like I don't litter. I try and like speak about climate change and like things that even like beach cleanups is very important to me, like just making sure like the animals and the environment is something that is appreciated because it's our home. So yeah, that's something that I'm passionate about. Okay, so if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Oh, this is a tough one. So firstly, traveling, the thought of it makes me really anxious. So yeah, I don't know what it is about like the admin side of it and like knowing you need to have like me and admin stuff. Like just the thought of needing to get like certain papers and all of that kind of stuff, it really stresses me out. And also being in places where I don't know where I am. So traveling for me has been something that's always like kind of pushed aside. But I know this is a typical one and it's Paris, but it's not Paris. It's the like outskirts where the villages and stuff on like the cobblestones, and I don't know if that's like a romanticized version of what I'm thinking of. Yes, basically like the countryside, because I feel like that's where the richest culture would be, and like the food that they actually eat, not what the restaurants like want to show you, that like what you see on TV, like the fancy cuisine and all of that. So that is somewhere I really, really want to go, and it's mostly for the food. But like a close second is Italy. And also like same vibe, like countryside of Italy. I just think it would be like a really rich culture to, you know, get involved in. Yeah. Is it my turn to ask a question now? Yes. Okay. This is one that I kind of selfishly put in there. What is something you value the most in a friend?
I actually also have that question for you, but it's coming later. So I value like loyalty, and obviously just someone that has a really chilled like just vibe, like who there's no like drama. It's like very like easygoing and fun, and
Let me just take notes quickly.
and just like someone that's like loyal. Like I know that I would be like, I know I'm a loyal friend to someone, and I would stand up for someone. So like I appreciate that in a friendship. And just someone that's not like, something that's drama free. Yes. That's all I ask for. Like, because I don't really like, I'm not someone that likes conflict, or like, you know, something that's gonna be too much of an effort in terms of like having to like put out fires or have to worry about whether you're speaking about toxic. Me, and toxic traits. So just someone that's loyal and who is a chilled, like relaxed person, and probably someone that likes to also like read like you do, and who have the same interests, which is always fun.
Yes.
Because then we can kind of like understand each other better. Okay, so what book, movie, or TV show has had a significant impact on you, and why?
Oh, okay. This is one I'm actually going to have to think about. Give me a couple of seconds. You can like do a cut here. It might take a while. I'm trying to think. I'm like, movies and stuff like that like deeply affect me no matter what the movie is. I don't know what it is, but like I'll cry for anything. I'll like, anything will like make me really emotional. Like it's quite easy to make me emotional with like movies and stuff. I'm trying to think. Can we get back to this question? Let me think. Like give me like two or three more questions, and I'll think about it. I'm sorry, because there's so much that like, you know, like information you take on in the daily. Okay. I'll think about that one. Okay. Okay. My next question is, what's the worst advice you've ever been given?
Okay. I think I know this. Okay, so basically, I think when someone tells you, I don't know, this is also something that I need to think of. I don't think I've gotten a lot of bad advice, to be honest, because I feel like I ask people that generally do know what I need to hear, what is the most important thing to remember. So I can't think of it at the top of my head right now.
I have a follow-on question though.
Okay.
Has anyone ever told you, like, if you're having a bad day or like you're going through like mental health struggles, they'll be like, just be happy. Like, you know, and you're just like, it's not that easy to just like turn it off, especially if you do deal with like anxiety and depression. It's not something that's rational, and you can't like rationalize it. So has anyone ever told you like, just be happy, just look on the bright side? And you're like, you know, I will eventually, but like right now I just need to like feel my feelings, you know?
Yeah, I think I have had like friends say like so like,
and they don't understand.
So like after a breakup, for example, they're like, okay, cool, so what you need to do is you just need to block everything of the person, like unfollow them on social media, and like block them on WhatsApp. And like I'm just like thinking to myself, like, have you never been through a breakup yourself? Like it's not that easy. Like you obviously need to, like, you want to move on, but like you need to go through stages, and like you're a human being, so you have emotions. Like you just want to kind of feel it in this moment, so that you don't kind of feel it at the last end when you're like healing. So I think that's probably the worst advice, is just like immediately like cut. When
instead of dealing with the emotions.
Instead of like dealing with things, because I feel like from my own experiences, when you run away from your feelings or when you don't deal with things in the moment, I find that it only hurts you like in the end. So I feel like that is something, and I'm a very anxious person as well. So you can't tell me to like relax if I'm like telling you I'm anxious.
Be calm.
Like, no, like I'm a very anxious person, so I need to kind of like find the calmness within myself. So if someone is telling me just to relax, that almost like makes me even more annoyed.
Wait, sorry, I thought of the answer to your question. It's not exactly a movie or like whatever, but it's a YouTuber. Kelly Ward. No, but actually, and then also this lady Abby Sharp, who does videos or like kind of like long form not even documentaries, I don't know, but she's a dietitian and she talks about like relationship with food. And I've never really had like a bad relationship with food, but you do get those times where you're like, oh, why did I eat so much junk food this weekend? And like you make yourself feel guilty, and you look at food as a way to like, you know, reach your goal to get skinny or whatever, where she teaches you that like food is fuel and you need to eat to nourish your body and your mind, and look at food in a way that's like positive and not like there's nothing strictly that's bad food or nothing strictly that's good food, and just like that life balance. So I think that was a very important, I guess, like a couple of her videos that just made me look at food a different way, but then also like at the same time knowing I need to eat healthy to nourish my body, but it's not like the end of the world if I have a chocolate on like a bad day. And I think that is something that a lot of people actually struggle with, especially now with like diet culture. So I watched like a lot of long like video essays on diet culture on YouTube when I was just going through a time where I wasn't like happy with my body and all of that kind of thing, which everyone has had.
Which is crazy.
No, it's like so, but exactly. So like it puts your mind into perspective of these things. Like yes, you're seeing models and stuff on Instagram and on TV and all of that, but it's not realistic. They're also taking videos when they only look the best and not on their bad days, like, which of course no one wants to show that. So just like I think putting food and the real reason why we eat food, it's survival, it's to nourish our body, it's, you know, not just to have like a cool Instagram pic, and just like changing your perspective on food actually helped me a lot. And it's something that I go back to quite often when I feel like I'm losing my grip on like your reality when it comes to food. And like it's so subliminal, like diet culture and stuff, which is why like you might not necessarily think it's a problem, but when you go dig deep into like why you think about food in certain ways, and like, you know, when you try not to eat at a certain time, it's like, oh, I just ate like an hour ago and I'm already hungry, like I can't eat, and like putting strict rules with yourself on food. But like if you're hungry, eat, and you know like, okay, the meal I had earlier wasn't nourishing enough, next time I'll make something with more vegetables or whatever. And it's learning, but don't like punish yourself for doing something that your body needs. So I think that would be like a movie documentary kind of vibe that changed my life. Well,
Yeah, no, I think it's an important issue, I think, especially with women, like I guess men too. But I struggled with having a bad relationship with food, like growing up, because it's so crazy, because like at my dad's house, it was more like healthy, like I kind of had a better understanding of what's good for your body, and then we'd have like really good food. And then on my mom's side, it was like sweets and you can have whatever you want. So like I really struggled with also going to an all girls school, and then you kind of have a different perspective, of like girls, they look different, and then you see in the movies and stuff of what you want to look like, and it kind of gives you like body dysmorphia.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, once you understand that like food is to nourish you and not like to make you feel terrible about yourself, I think it's an important thing to speak about. So that's good. So it's crazy. And at least you don't need like surgery or anything.
Yeah, that scares me.
It's all natural.
Like, anxiety again, like I don't want to go under the needle if I don't have to. Like I might have to get eye surgery and I'm like freaking out about it.
LASIK.
Yeah, but I need to wait like until my prescription's what's it called? Like consistent. So, and I'm just like, I'm freaking out, and Brandon told me like, your eye fills up with blood and stuff and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But like I have to do it or I'm gonna go blind. Yeah. So
but I think it's helped a lot of people though. I've seen like videos of like what they
see, I'm not gonna even watch that because I don't actually want to know. Apparently you don't feel anything, but like just knowing that something's gonna freaks me out. Anyways.
Yeah, try not to think about it. Okay, so the next thing is, do you have any hobbies or interests that you're particularly like passionate about?
So obviously reading. We know reading.
Speak about yours.
Yeah, so I even have a tattoo. I don't know if you guys can see on the camera, which like, yes, I found it on Pinterest. Okay. It's fine, I'm not that original. But reading, and like I know I've spoken a lot about reading, but I don't think like people necessarily understand, like when I say like I love reading, I love reading. Like I will read for like 4 to 5 hours straight, like not move. Like I will forget to eat, which is obviously not really good, but like I love escaping into a book. I mostly read fantasy, and I just think that reading also, like, I'm passionate about people getting into reading more, because a lot of people are like, ugh, I don't read, like whatever. But there's a book for everyone. And I don't know who the quote's from, that said, if you don't like reading, it's because you haven't found the right book for you. Which is obviously a very broad, like, you know, maybe some people genuinely don't, like some people maybe like with dyslexia and that kind of thing might not enjoy reading, but there's audiobooks, like, you know, it has become a very inclusive community, which is really nice. So like, yeah, just breaking off from books, I feel like you can connect with people, you know, online or in person about books that you read. And I don't even necessarily read self-help books, I read fantasy books, but there's so many like life lessons within it that you can learn. So that's why I'm really passionate about it. And it's a really nice escape, and it just makes my brain feel refreshed afterwards, instead of like when you're escaping on your phone and you feel really drained. And I just love the idea of people reading and like being in their own happy bubble and that kind of thing. So it is something I'm really like passionate about sharing with other people and getting people to at least try it. Yeah. And I have my own bookstore, my own online bookstore that it's called the Beanstalk Bookstore, because my surname means bean sower. So, and then like Jack and the Beanstalk, I thought I would like merge it together. So you're on Instagram. And it's all secondhand books, because I'm also really passionate about sustainability, which is why, and obviously books are so expensive these days, and no one can afford to, you know, and I don't think anyone shouldn't be able to read or educate themselves or learn just because of like a financial problem, you know. And like access to materials for kids and stuff is also very important. So that's why I decided, and obviously my passion for books. So yeah.
I think it's
me. Yeah. I'm getting like, because it's every time I speak I want to like, yeah. Okay, so then my next question is, if you had one day to live, what would you do?
Okay, that's a very interesting one. I just want to check. Okay, cool.
You're not gonna like, nothing tragic's gonna happen, but like you just know it's your last day possibly on earth. Like, what would you do with yourself?
I'd probably want to spend it with like family. But like besides that, if I was by myself, do you want to?
No, I just want to say, just also pretend you don't have anxiety over it, because I know when I wrote this question, I'm like, if I knew I had a day to live, I would just be so anxious about only having this last day. But let's pretend, okay, just cool. Be happy.
Okay, so like, okay, I would want to spend it obviously with my family, but if I was by myself and I had no like anxiety, I would probably like want to be like on the beach with like a book, or like my headphones and like my favorite music, and like just like having like a margarita and just like taking in like the chilled vibes, and I don't know, just being like in that moment, like zen. Yeah, like just zen and calm. Like I think that's what I strive for just generally in life. So that's probably how I'd want to spend like a day like by myself. I feel like every day when I'm by myself, it's just peace. Like it's your last day. It's which just, is how you should live, right? It's just so peaceful. Okay, so the question I have for you is, what's a memorable experience from your childhood that you often reminisce about?
15 minutes later.
Yeah, I think so. Can it be like a collection of memories? Yeah. Because I do actually remember my childhood very vividly, which like not a lot of people do. Like when I speak to my boyfriend and other friends and I'm like, yo, when I was 5 years old, I remember going to this place, and like, I don't even remember that. And I'm just like, I don't know, I just remember it, you know, which is also like a sign of like, you know, but I would say, yeah, it's all the reading. I would say probably going camping with my family. We were part of like a caravan club when I was younger for quite a few years, and then before that we would go camping wherever, and to this day my parents love going away, and it's just something that, you know, it's become really expensive now, but back, like, camping has always been, you know, and like I look back, I know in the moment I was so irritated about having to like put up my tent and like sweep up and like, you know, all those things that like kids get irritated about. But when you think about like the Saturday that you got to spend, you woke up and the birds are chirping and you just go swim the whole day with your friends, you don't have to worry about school doesn't exist, like just that whole getting away from everything, which is sometimes like I still feel like I need to do that every now and then. Just get away somewhere, hopefully with no signal, so that like, you know, you don't feel like you need to post. And like as a child, I didn't have a phone until I was like 13. So it was technology free for the whole whatever, except for like maybe like the little DVD players for like when it was rainy winter season. But like in summer, you were out the whole day, sunset, sunrise, whatever. And I really like that. And I always got to take friends with me. So just that whole, you know, like you can mess ice cream on yourself because you're outside. Like, I just think that was really a really good thing as a child to experience. It's me to ask. Okay. So I know this is something that you do like with yourself, but if you could take yourself on a date, where would you go? Like, what is the one like treat thing that you would do? Because I know you go out a lot on your own and like, you know, already kind of date yourself, if that makes sense. But what is like one thing you would really love to do for yourself one day as like a treat?
I'd probably like want to like travel like to a place. So anywhere like in Europe is really pretty, like what you're saying about the south of France, or like the Amalfi Coast, and like just like, I don't know, just like soak in all of the good aesthetics, you know, like if I could show you my Pinterest board, I feel like you would understand exactly what I mean. But I mean, so one of the places that I've always loved as a kid is Malibu, so in California. Okay. And I know there's like so much stuff going on in like America right now, but like that place to me in my head is just like this most ideal, perfect, beautiful. It's like a combination of like the mountains and the ocean, and I would love to like, you know, just spend a day like on the beach and like have like a picnic and just like be by myself and grab an iced coffee and just relax. Like that's like, I'm actually a very, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm actually a very simple, boring person.
No, not at all.
Because I feel like other people would be like, I want to go to like
they fancy, go to, like, fancy restaurant, 5 stars, fancy, but also like there's beauty in simplicity.
Yeah,
you know, like
maybe like, okay, maybe the restaurant Nobu in Malibu. I've heard like that's
so
a
that would be like your date day that you would take on.
So I'd probably take myself for a nice meal. I feel like I love food. So like I feel like a nice meal and the beach, like overlooking that with like a nice like Aperol Spritz or margarita or something just really like chilled. I think that's like my ideal type of vibe. But okay, so my next question for you is there a skill or talent that you've always wanted to learn but haven't had the chance to yet?
Lots. I feel like I'm someone that likes to start hobbies a lot, and then you know, you're in it for like a month and then you done with it. But I think one thing, firstly, a musical instrument, but I can't say I haven't had time, because I used to play guitar in high school. I just wasn't good at it because I didn't put the time aside to learn it. So I would love to, if I like actually have put the time and the work in. But like, again, I can't say that like I haven't tried, I guess. And I mean, I played it for like 3 years, but again, I wasn't very good. Yeah, I took it from grade 9 as an extracurricular, and then from grade 10 I did music as a subject. Not chords, because it was classical music, which doesn't necessarily have like strumming in it. It's more like, you know, that kind of thing. Because my guitar teacher kind of refused. He's like, you will learn sheet music, you will learn the classical techniques, like, you know, very like purist classical, whatever, which was beautiful. And like classical music is beautiful. But I got into it because I'm into rock music and that, so I wanted to learn like, you know, and then I was playing classical music. But so I can, but I don't remember any of the pieces that I learned. But I would say like for right now, something I really want to get into is sewing, which I have started kind of learning to like to hand stitch and that. And like I can sew on a button and, you know, whatever. But I would really love to learn to make like a full dress kind of thing. And like learn to tailor clothing and that, because also clothing these days is so expensive. And with like loving thrifting as like a whole, the concept of like thrifting furniture and thrifting books and thrifting everything, it's really good to have sewing as a skill, because you can see a beautiful piece of clothing and be like, oh, it's not my size, but make it your size, you know. So that's something, a hobby / skill that I would really like to properly get into. Okay, it's my turn, eh? Okay, so my next one is any book recommendation. Brighter Days Ahead by Kelly Ward. Sorry, I got too excited to say it that I got it stuck.
Yeah, so okay, yeah, I would like to plug my book. Yeah, so definitely my book, which is available on Amazon, Bright Days. But the thing is, there's so many good ones.
What are you reading at the moment?
I'm reading 2 different ones. So I'm busy reading my dad's book right now, which is like on facility management. But I'm reading Jay Shetty's book, So Think Like a Monk. I got that last year and I'm rereading it. And then also Awaken the Giant Within from Tony Robbins, another great book. And then The Power Within You from Louise Hay is absolutely amazing. Like, I think all of her books, they just really, really speak to me. It's like a philosophical type of book, but it's really good. Like, it's all about self-improvement and about overcoming obstacles in life and building a resilient mind and all of that kind of stuff. So I really love that a lot. And it's crazy because like podcasts and like books have a way of almost shaping your perspective of something. So when you're going through something, this sounds so deep, but like when you're going through something in life, it almost kind of serves as a life lesson on how to like navigate through it, which is really awesome. So yeah, any of those books are really awesome. Okay, my question for you is, what's your favorite type of cuisine, and do you have a go-to dish at a restaurant? I love food, by the way.
Yeah, me as well. My favorite type of cuisine, probably, I love pastas. Pastas every day if I could, but obviously there's no balance in that. I love making pasta and eating pasta, and I actually have to stop myself from ordering it and eating it every day. But I would say like at a restaurant, I normally go for something simple like a burger, because I also don't want to like order their fancy pastas or whatever, like weird pastas and there's stuff in it. Yeah, and there's like weird stuff that I don't like. So like the places I will order pasta is Panarotti's. I love I think it's mushroom and ham Alfredo. I love their pasta. And I'm trying to think, there's one other place where I always order pasta. And I like specifically only go, Tasha's, because they are insanely expensive also. But like their one pasta, I will only go there because I want that pasta.
Wait, which one is it?
It's all I know is it's green. I don't remember what it's called, but I know when I see it on the menu, I'm like, oh, I think it's also an Alfredo. It's a pesto something or other. I don't even know the name. I just know that like when I get there, I look for the title and I remember it. But like normally burgers, because I know it's like a safe bet, and I'm also kind of weird when it comes to certain flavors and textures on food. So I never know. I just know like a burger's the safest thing. And it's also really filling. Like there's nothing worse when you order something from a restaurant and then it's like the smallest portion. And you're like, well, who's this going to feed? So that's why I know like it's a safe option. But definitely pasta is like, hence wanting to go to Italy. I don't know if that's like a stereotype, but you know, yeah. So definitely pasta. Then my next question is, what is your favorite trait about yourself? That's why I asked it, because I also feel like we don't often give ourselves like credit where credit's due, and we're always so quick to criticize ourselves and like bring forward the bad things and like negative self-speak. So that's why I wanted to ask a question like that.
That's actually a very good question. I actually want to ask that to you as well. I don't know. I think the one thing that I do like about myself is that if anyone like needs anything, like I feel like I'm always there for someone, which is something like I'm very proud of, because I feel like if anyone is in like a crisis or they're going through something in their life, like I like to be someone like a sounding board or offering advice or like I care deeply for people basically. So that's something I'm really proud of. What's yours?
I would say I think being curious is a good trait, and I feel like I have that in myself. Curiosity in just everything that's happening in the world, kind of like keeping up with you know, world news, and I think just always wanting to learn. And in that there's so much in like wanting to grow as a person, which I think is something you know, that you can apply everywhere in life. Like at work you can, you know why things are the way they are, and I just like feeling like I'm always expanding my knowledge on things. So I would say my curiosity. Thank you. Sorry.
No, I like that a lot. I think that it is important to ask questions and to want to know more as well. I love that. Okay, so if you could meet any historical figure, who would it be, and what would you ask them? This is like a very difficult one, like for me. Like, but go ahead.
Ooh.
'Cause
There's so many people that I just want to ask, like, why? Like, why? Wow. That is such a good one. Because I have so many like questions, or even just to know about like historical events, like what actually happened, because when people like record things. Oh, okay. I don't know. It's so interesting because like, do I want to ask a politician something? Do I want to ask like a serial killer, kind of like, why did you do that kind of thing, and like dive into the mind of, I feel like the thing is I would want to ask someone that's not a good person, if that makes sense, and ask them like Hitler, for example. I know that's probably weird, but just actually kind of going into his mind and thinking like, why? Like, what was your thought process on where did you start? Because like in the history books, they obviously talk about how like he was rejected from art school, and like it was just like a ripple effect from there. But I feel like that's like an obvious one, right? Like everyone wants to ask him like, why? Okay, you tell me your person. I'm gonna think so long.
There's so many good ones. I can't think of them at the top of my head at the moment. But there's this guy called Osher Zen, and he wrote like a whole bunch of teachings and stuff, like about life in general. And he has a very like different approach to like life. So I probably want to ask him like about his experiences on like why he looks at life a certain way compared to like what the conventional way of looking at it is. And I would just probably ask him for a bunch of advice, like on how to navigate certain things. Like, but he's like an old like philosophical figure in like history. But like, I would love to ask him questions. But also, I would love to ask like a few American presidents, like JFK. Like, how was it like being like the president, and maybe. I don't know. It's just like there's a lot.
And like the controversies and everything.
Yeah, like especially with that whole that assassination. I would ask him, oh my word, like what about Marilyn Monroe? Like I would love to ask her questions about her life, because there's so many like narratives about the life that she led and like the person that she was. I would love to ask her.
She didn't get to tell her own story.
I feel like she's being exploited a lot these days. So probably like her, because it's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
Because she's like an icon, especially in the film industry.
Definitely.
So yeah, there's a lot. Have you thought of yours?
Well, because every time you're mentioning someone, you're like, I would love to talk to them. I would love to talk to them.
There's like so many.
I know, and I mean, there's also like authors and stuff like Jane Austen and everyone that like I would love to obviously speak to her. And like at the stage when she first started publishing, I'm pretty sure she had to publish as a man, because they were like women women weren't allowed to really obviously work. Yeah. And then I think it's Jane Austen or it's Emily Bronte. I know I'm like name dropping, like I don't read classical literature, but they are like women that I think are amazing, that were able to break into like a male dominated industry, and like their minds were so like, it's crazy because obviously women weren't educated the same way men were, but like they were able to express themselves so beautifully, and their writing, which again I don't really read classical works, sorry, let me take this, but just like some of the quotes you might see, I've read like one or two just to like do it, and I couldn't. It takes a lot of brain power, but I just think either one of those two women, of like how they navigated a male dominated industry and just picking their brains, and like so I would probably choose Jane Austen. And I think it was either her or the other one I mentioned, the other lady, where their work became so popular, and it was actually a commentary on men and misogyny, and men loved this piece, not realizing that it was actually like speaking about them and against their values and how they treat women, and like she had written as a man, so obviously they like approved, not realizing that we're actually reading a woman's work. So I think like that must be such an amazing feeling to have. So I would rather want to pick one of their brains. Then I think it's me, hey? So I guess this is a follow on from my previous question, but what is something that makes you feel confident?
I think something that makes me feel most confident is probably not like wearing makeup, like just doing a skincare routine. Because I feel like when I do wear makeup, I usually wear like a very minimal. Because I feel for me personally, I don't feel like I look amazing with like too much on. Whereas like someone with your face, it's like you have beautiful blue eyes and like you can really like accentuate like your features. Whereas with me, I feel like I'm not too sure if it's like my skin complexion or my features, but I find that when I just have like minimal as possible, I feel really confident. And yeah, just when I feel clean and like and like I smell good and I'm wearing comfortable clothes, like I love wearing like really like baggy comfortable clothing in my everyday life, unless I'm going out. But yeah, just anything that makes me feel comfortable, I feel like I feel confident. So you've already asked me this, but I want to ask you, but what do you value most in a friendship or a relationship?
Something that I value would be obviously like loyalty, like you spoke about earlier, but also just being honest and being upfront. And I don't know if I've given this impression, but I like to think I'm an honest, upfront person, and I don't like to sugarcoat things if I don't have to. And I appreciate it when other people are like that, because I don't like guessing games. I don't want to know how you're feeling and how whatever, tell me. That kind of thing. And just not like I think this feeds into the loyalty thing, but don't make me feel like a second option. I understand people are busy and they have things going on, and I'm not someone that needs to be around people all the time. So it's not like you need to constantly be making like plans with me and stuff. I don't feel that, but make me feel, at least when you do make plans with me, that you want to make plans with me and not just make plans with anyone just to do something. Don't, because that's a waste of my time as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like, I don't like when people like, you know, they couldn't, maybe someone cancelled on them that morning, so they make a plan with me just because they want to like do something. That's not something I really like, because again, I am someone that likes to be alone. So like it doesn't really, you know, but if you genuinely want to spend time with me and you know, have a connection, that's something. But definitely honesty, because I like to feel that I'm an honest person. So it is something that I maybe sometimes too honest.
No, there's no such thing as...
Yeah, so I think that is something, and just being upfront and communicating is definitely, yeah. So for the this or that section, I think I'm going to ask, is it okay if I ask you all 5? Because it's like, it's quick.
Okay, go for it.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically just choose whichever one you feel you like the best. So my first one is tea or coffee.
I like iced coffee, and I like having like coffee in the morning, but I am like naturally a tea person. Okay. I do like tea, like any type of tea is nice. So yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. You don't have to say specifically which one, but like
I like
choose. Yeah. I'm sure most people do actually. So then my next one is summer or winter.
Definitely summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same. I hate winter. So then the next one is a scary movie or a comedy.
Comedy. I like to laugh.
Okay.
I like to laugh.
Then sweet or savory.
Sweet. I have a major
Sweet
sweet
tooth.
tooth.
Yeah. And then the last one is sunrise or sunset.
That's a difficult one. Because I find like, I don't know, they're both so beautiful, but I do like the sunsets at the beach. But then again, in the mornings, I love the quietness and like the sunrise in the morning. But I'll go sunset. Like that's a good one.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. The question I have for you is, are there any goals or dreams that you're currently working towards that you'd like to share? I know you spoke about your bookstore, but are there anything else like in life in general that you're working towards or would like to achieve?
So it's actually quite fitting that you asked this question, because I know we spoke about animals in the beginning. I'm sorry if I get emotional right now, but I am actually working with a charity this coming weekend called Fallen Angels. I don't know if you know about them. They're an animal rescue. So they mostly rescue animals, and obviously mostly rescue dogs and cats, but they do have like some pigs and llamas and stuff like that. Just so cool. Any animal that's been abused is a fallen angel, which is a really, like I said, animals is, you know, for me. And in the week I got an email from my old vet about my dog who passed away, about them needing vaccinations. And I'm like, it's a bit late for vaccinations right now. And I got really emotional about it and stuff. And then not 2 days later did Fallen Angels follow me on TikTok. And I'm like, this kind of feels like a sign right now. And I've been feeling like I need to do something that has a bigger purpose, and waking up in the morning feeling like I'm giving. So I volunteered for this weekend to do some content for Fallen Angels TikTok page to film something. So that's something I'm really passionate about, and I would love to one day work full time with animals, which is a little bit difficult because obviously life's really expensive and they do rely on donations and that, and they can't always take on new like staff. So I understand. So for right now I'm volunteering, and it's a cause I've always been really passionate about. It's a cause my mom's really passionate about. We're a big animal family, you know, we love animals. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to do for them to try and get their reach, because I know a lot of people can't afford animals, or they live in flats, and more families live in complexes that doesn't have backyards, so they want to adopt but they don't have the facilities for it. So if there's another way that like those people can also spread awareness and just share the videos and everything like that, I think that would be really fun. So that's something that I'm working towards.
Dude, that's so amazing. Oh my gosh. No, honestly, like, so would you want to eventually like do your own like foundation or charity, or like would you prefer to like work with like different ones that like you're passionate about?
So I think like working from the ground up is very difficult because there's lots of resources that go into making or creating a charity. And it's actually a really beautiful story for this specific charity. The lady that started it, she had a dream one night, and she literally just like left her job and started this foundation, and like, which obviously takes a lot. They've been running for 9 years, but just in general, like I think I would rather already help organizations that maybe don't have I don't want to say the skill set, but like for social media and stuff like that, they don't always have the staff for it. They don't always have the know-how of, like, because like social media is changing rapidly all the time, and it is older people that tend to run these charities. So I just feel like if I could give them maybe some fresh ideas, or you know, find ways for them to navigate this very technology driven life that we have.
Yeah, like everything's online.
Exactly. And like social media is free for now to use. So like if I can just help them get like a few videos up on TikTok to show people what it's about, like to younger people, and people are having less kids now, so they're opting to rather have animals. So I would rather, I think, work with organizations that are already established, because they still already need so much help. And if I can help them and alleviate some workload, or, you know, try and get funding for them, then I think I would do that. But I mean, one day owning your own charity and organization is, I think, obviously it would be an amazing thing.
Yeah, like imagine doing like philanthropic work like as like your life's purpose. Like, well, obviously if you have like enough money to sustain yourself and live.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think that's also a really great way, because you're constantly doing something.
Yes, and you have like, meaning.
Yeah, and I feel like life is all about like acts of service.
Definitely.
Like we're not doing all of this for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
So yeah, I think that's awesome.
Thanks.
I think it's your turn, is it?
I asked you all of mine. This or that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I have some fun ones for you then. Okay. So if you had any superpower for a day, what would you choose and how would you use it?
Ooh. See, as someone that likes fantasy, like, you would think I would have thought about this question, but I want all of them. I want all the superpowers if I could. I think, so it's only one day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only one day.
I think I would. Ooh, if I could, like, transform, like, shapeshift. I think that would be really fun. Like shapeshift.
From X-Men.
I guess I was thinking more like animal shapeshifting, not like a werewolf, but like, yeah, like become a bird for an hour and fly around, like, or shapeshifting in like.
That's so cute.
Do you know, I don't know, like, I obviously you would think like you want to do something that we're able to like change the world, but there's nothing you can do in a day, I feel like. So I just feel like, I don't know, shapeshifting, or maybe even being like invisible and just going and doing whatever I want and not being seen and bothered, you know?
Yeah, I think invisibility is cool.
Yeah, I think so. But like, also, I don't know what I would do for the whole day being invisible, because you can't talk to people. Maybe I'd play like pranks on people or something. Like I'll go terrorize
mine,
Brandon.
Mine is a bit more dark. Like I would like if I had one of like those like for example, if I was like Iron Man, for example,
Yeah.
I would try and like it sounds so like cheesy, but all of like this crime that's happening, especially here,
vigilante.
yeah, like all of these people, like the police and stuff that has no idea sometimes what they're doing. I would take it upon myself. Like
And
I
just
would
go in.
I would go ham because I mean,
Yeah.
you can't touch Iron Man. Like
Exactly, yeah. But that's like invisibility could also be cool. Because
Yes.
you could like get like intel and like just drop it on the step of the MPI or something.
literally, like I would just go ham. Like I would go
but
for
also
it.
like there's so much. Like where do you choose to go? Where do you like you'd have to be really quick. You have to be like the Flash.
Literally.
Like the Flash and Iron Man.
Like if you
Together.
like a combination
Of all of them. Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is, what is the most interesting or unusual thing you've ever eaten, and where did you try it? I know you said that you don't like you're finicky about like textures
But
and stuff.
sometimes I'll try things just because I'm like I'm just gonna try it just for most interesting or unusual thing I've ever eaten. It would probably be something meaty because I'm not a meat person, but I'm trying to think of probably springbok.
Okay.
Which is like, I know it's our national animal, but like when I used to work at events, they would serve springbok carpaccio, I think it's called, which is like very thinly sliced. And I think it's not cooked or it's like seared. So it's almost,
like those
I don't know if it's
fancy-
raw. You're going to have to Google it, but I'm pretty sure it's springbok carpaccio. So yeah, springbok, because like that is very random. Like, yes, it's our national anthem, but national animal, but it's not something that we eat and like see in the restaurant. So I would probably say,
That's like the weirdest.
right? We don't make springbok biltong, right?
No.
No. Okay. So then, yeah, probably springbok.
Dude, I've like you're not gonna believe this, but I've tried crocodile before. When
Crocodile?
I was like
Yeah.
really young though, we went to Oudtshoorn and then
With the farm. The
yeah,
crocodile
at that farm. And then I think my dad had like a crocodile steak or something, so I think I had a piece from him. But it actually,
Do you remember the taste?
yeah, it actually tasted like it was nice. Like I'm just
Okay.
being honest, but I think after that, or a few years after that, I went vegetarian for like 4 years
Okay.
because of like the animals.
Yes,
I watched like
yeah.
really like fucked up videos. But it's so crazy. Like I'm not a huge fan of meat.
Yeah, me neither. That's why the
Like-
springbok carpaccio is like a weird thing for me because I don't like red meat. I eat like mostly chicken and fish. I will eat red meat if it's served to me like a burger or whatever, but yeah, I'm not like a big meat person.
I almost feel like I just eat it because
It's there.
yeah, and I need it for my body.
Yeah, the
but like
iron and all of
but as
that.
soon as I'm able to do like a full plant-based thing, I probably won't eat it ever
Yeah.
again. Okay, the next one is, if you were stranded on a desert island and you could only bring 3 items with you, what would they be?
Does a boat count as one of the 3 items? Okay, the other thing is, low-key, I would love to live on an island like by myself and just maybe one other person. You can come with me. You can visit on the weekends. Okay, so let's say I want to survive on this island and live there, right? I would probably bring some type of like a saw so I can get wood and stuff to like build shelter and food. Build shelter and make food and fire. So a saw, probably a flint to create fire, right? And let me think, one other thing. Maybe like a good pair of boots, like work boots, because going in that terrain and stuff, I feel like, you know, if I'm climbing and I'm foraging for food and whatever, I'm going to need like a really good pair of boots to get around. Right? Do you think I could survive off of those 3 things?
I think so.
And I'm going to have to teach myself to fish and stuff or like hunt birds. But like, yeah, I will make the tools. I feel like I maybe wouldn't be able to survive. Like all of my books that I've read, I'm like, oh, I could definitely do that. But like, no, I would have to like make my own bow and arrow and make like the string out of my hair or something. I don't know. I would have to just figure it out. But
figure that out, yeah. Are you sure you don't want to take like a book with, like to keep yourself company?
yeah, but I need to survive first. Or maybe I won't get to the reading, right?
True. Or you can write your own book while...
Yeah, I'm gonna like learn to make paper out of the wood or something and like write with charcoal. I don't know. But yeah, but I think also like when you're living out in nature, like I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but like you wake up and like everything's here. Like you've got electricity, you got your food, it's really like easy. So there's not a lot for you to do in the day in terms of like surviving. You just
thinking,
or
yeah.
thinking, right? But I just feel like when you're living on an island, there's so much that you're gonna have to do every single day to stay alive. I won't have time for reading, right? But like that's not something that I'm opposed to. Like I would like to wake up and know that you have like, you know, this like not all this extra around you, you know. Yeah, and like just enjoying nature and like being more in the moment without distractions around you. Like, can we go to a deserted island actually? You know, like, I don't know, yeah. And like I played Sims Castaway, so I feel like I could maybe survive.
Literally.
Okay, so the next question I have is, what's a song that never fails to get you in a good mood or make you want to dance?
Probably the Cha-Cha Slide. I love the Cha-Cha Slide. I know it's like a really like overdone song and you hear it at every single party.
It is
but
a vibe, though.
I don't know what it is. I've always loved the Cha-Cha Slide, and you can literally ask like any of my friends wherever we go. I always recommend that they play it like at a New Year's Eve party. And I know like a lot of people really hate the Cha-Cha Slide because it's like it happens every bit. I just love it. And maybe like what's that song, Billy Ray Cyrus, where you do the line dancing, that will Achy Breaky Heart.
Yeah.
You know, that's like a really basic answer, but those are like two songs that will without fail, like if I'm at a party, will make me get up and dance. And
good one.
yeah, I don't know, it just feels like I think it's also just because the Cha-Cha Slide is like so nostalgic. Like I remember when I was 13 and like everyone wanted to have a disco for their 13th birthday, and like at every birthday party so it's just very like nostalgic. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so the last question is, what is your favorite alcoholic beverage? Like something that you just can't not have if like you're out to something. And yeah.
So if I am out, if it's like restaurant, a strawberry daiquiri, like without fail. I love strawberry daiquiris because I also have a sweet tooth. But if we like at a bar, which they probably don't serve strawberry daiquiris at like, you know, pubs and stuff, I will still ask because maybe they will, like, you know, if they have like a restaurant and a bar. But then I would normally have a Sprite and vodka or lemonade and vodka. Yeah. What's yours?
It's so crazy. I used to drink like vodka, like straight, like neat, just with ice.
Oh my goodness, okay.
When I was like,
so strong, like nail polish remover.
yeah, when I was like younger, like that was like my thing when I first started going out, and then I don't do that anymore. But I also love cocktails. Like I just love, the whole point of it is just to like relax and like have a good time.
Yeah.
So I love margaritas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love margaritas. And then Aperol Spritz is also really nice.
I don't think I've ever tried that actually.
We should actually make that.
Is it green? I
No,
feel like
it's
maybe-
like
okay.
so it's like an orangey kind of thing with champagne.
Okay.
and-
Is it sweet?
Yeah.
Okay, it has to be sweet.
But I think we should actually do like a video or something and make it.
Making cocktails.
Yeah, like I can bring
yeah.
us Aperol and like you just need like ice and champagne
And a shaker,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Actually-
Shaker, not stirred. Sorry.
literally. But yeah, like anything that's like super aesthetic, I like.
Yeah,
it.
the
And
vibes.
yeah, it's for the vibes.
It makes you feel like you like on a beach,
Literally.
you know, living the life.
Yeah, and I feel like I would pay anything for an experience.
Yeah, true.
So if it's gonna be
Yeah.
like a really nice experience.
And my favorite is when like at different places, like they'll put different like decor on their drinks. Like they'll cut the strawberries in a different way. And it's
Yeah.
always fun to like see how they like play around with it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's also fun, like part of the experience.
Yeah. And like I find like with the margarita, like the one at Village in town, it's like the right amount of like tequila, so
yeah.
it doesn't make you feel like sick. It's like you
mhm.
feel like you're just like relaxed and you want to have a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I like. Okay, so it was so much fun like doing this little Q&A with you. I think we should definitely do another one because it's so much fun. Like I love getting to know you. And yeah, like did you have a lot of fun?
Yes, of course I had a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun. And yeah, and it's also nice to like just chat, because I feel like you and I chat for like ages and you don't really necessarily like get to see that online of like how, I don't know, I feel like we're in sync, like we're literally like matching and didn't even like try to match. So it's nice to like just chill with you and, you know, get to know you a bit better.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys enjoy chilling with both of us, it is the Chill Out Podcast.
I have something to say.
Yeah.
Sorry. answer the questions yourself if you want to in the comment section, even if you want to just do like the shorter form questions so that we can get to know the audience better as well.
Yeah, I love that idea as well. So like insert your comments down below, and also don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The video is on YouTube, so subscribe to the channel for more amazing chill content. So thank you so much, Demi. I love co-hosting with you, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Love it.